Well, welcome to the Friday devotional, the first devotional on Friday of the new year. And I want us to think about the year ahead and how you and I are going to live it, because there will be formidable challenges for each of us this year. I'm fairly certain about that. In other words, a challenge that's bigger than you are, and one that you will have to uh, find yourself running to the Lord for His strength and His power to be able to overcome whatever it is we're going to be facing this year. Um, we live in a broken world, and it's not getting any better. That is a proof evolution's not true, because mankind is not evolving, he is devolving, he's getting worse. I think we can see this all over the planet today. And God has called you and me as representatives of Jesus to shine our light in this dark world, to be the salt of the earth. And so we have this opportunity to represent Jesus well. I'm reminded of Ephesians 5:15 that says, "Be careful how you walk, not as unwise people, but as wise, making the most of your time because the days are evil." Making the most of our time. And may 2023 be that year that we lived it well, perhaps more organized and better focused than at any other time, because I think we're going to need to be. It says, make the most of your time because what? The days are evil. It calls the days evil. Well, we know from 1 John 5:19, it says the whole world lies in the power of the evil one. So that's the kind of world we're living in right now. And the word says that Satan prowls about like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour, to trip up, to slip up, to foul up, to mess up. And that's you and me he's after. Because we're to represent Jesus, and Satan doesn't want us to do that well. So he has a plan for our life in 2023. You know, I'm reminded of Psalm 90, where Moses, who wrote that psalm, one of the oldest psalms, he wrote it after the event that took place at Kadesh Barnea, when the children of Israel reached the edge of the promised land, and God says, "Go in. You will take the land. I'll give it to you, that land flowing with milk and honey. There's an enemy there, but I will overcome him." Well, they sent 12 spies into the land to spy out the land for military purposes, and 10 of the 12 came back and said, there are giants in the land. They're bigger than us. We cannot take the land. We refuse to go into that land. We'll all die if we do. And in saying that, they were disobeying the direct order of Almighty God. And also they were lacking faith in him. God said, he said, I will give you the land. And basically they're saying, no, God's not truthful. So God banished them for 40 years in the wilderness. And there were about 2 million Jews who in 40 years, many of them died in that wilderness, which meant there were funerals, memorial services probably every day. Can you imagine? So Psalm 90 is written in that context. And so it says, you know, if we live 70 years, we're okay. In 80 years we might live if we have the strength, probably the lifespan. But he says, but their pride is but labor and in sorrow, for soon it is gone and we fly away. That's the way Moses felt as he saw people dying all the time. Yeah, you know, as soon as it's gone, and this life it just goes away like that. The brevity of life. And a few verses later, he says to God, he says, so Lord, teach us to number our days, that we may present to you a heart of wisdom. Teach us to number our days. Well, that means help us to make our life count. To make our life count. to make each day of our life count, to live with purpose. And then he says, so that we may present to you a heart of wisdom. So we can present to you, Lord, that we lived wisely in this wicked world. And I hope we do. I pray we do. It ought to be kind of a resolution of sorts to say, Lord, I face a formidable enemy. There are giants in this land, and they will look overwhelming to me. But God, I know that you will overcome them, that there's a victory ahead for me as I continue to trust you to tackle all of the challenges of this year. So I hope you have that heart and attitude and perspective as we march into this year. The Lord bless you all. Have a great weekend and a most fulfilling year ahead. Bye-bye.